So we are at a gathering called Rise, and we're talking about rising above our challenges. And one of the challenges we have as human beings, and especially as women, is fear of rejection. And you know, when I heard about you, I was so inspired. I said, you know what, I bet you Peggy has a very strong rejection muscle. Do you?
I have had a lot of rejection in my life. And in order to live my birthright, which is to be happy and prosperous and in gratitude of the magnificence of my life, then I've had to find ways and teachers and skills and tools that have helped me to be able to wash the pain in my heart.
Beautiful. Was there a moment when a shift took place? Because as a child, I can imagine, did you grow up, were your parents little people?
No.
Or were you a special presence in their life that was a surprise? And
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to make it short. My parents are average height. Their first child was of short stature. Then they had 2 more children. They were average size. And the doctors told my parents that it would never happen again. They sort of misdiagnosed my brother, and it's very complicated about some little people are caused by dominant genes in which there's only one in a family, and some, like Matt Roloff on the TV show Little People Big World, he has 3 short-statured people in his family, and I have 2 in mine. So my parents were very surprised when it happened again, and it caused a lot of disappointment and challenge, especially for my mother. So my beginning years and symbiotic phase of this time when you're one with your mother was only from therapy. I know this was a very, very challenging time. And then I went to school and the ridicule started, and you know, there are many gifts that have come out of it. But yes, there was a turning point, and I would say there have been many, like I said, many things that have happened, and tools and teachers and practices that I've taken on and moved through, and many disciplines that I use to help me to keep my heart clean so that it can stay open and I can stay strong and I can stay in the truth, because really that's what having a brave heart is all about. So when the one isolated a moment, which was like one out of many, but it was really a, you know how like you're at a plateau and then all of a sudden you go to another plateau? So this experience, one night I was doing something called the Fisher-Hoffman process, which is a very deep psychological look at your negative experience during the first 14 years of your life. And this particular night, we were doing a cathartic practice, and we were given pillows and bats and told to let out our be true, be honest, face the truth about how you really feel. And so, and let it come out in a physical way. And this kind of therapy isn't really so popular nowadays, but this was maybe 15, 20 years ago. So I'm hitting the pillows and on and on and on and on and on and on, and after a while I got tired, and when I laid back on my pillows and I closed my eyes, I saw something in my heart that changed my life.
what?
It was a diamond.
Oh.
And this diamond was not just like a little diamond on your finger. This diamond was bigger than my whole body. And it went from above my head to below my toes, and light was streaming out in every direction, and it was glistening, and it was just the most beautiful thing. And when I laid there and just was present with it, in that moment I knew that I'm not my body. I'm not my thoughts, my history, my personality, my memories, my tragedies, my traumas. I'm not that stuff. What I am is the essence of life. Mm-hmm. And that was the moment that I was set free. And so when I do my public speaking, I tell the audience that that moment was a breakthrough for me, but really my challenge in life now is to maintain that sense of being a diamond in every moment of my life, whether I'm in the face of rudeness, prejudice, people looking down on me, people patting my head, people doing wrong to other people. My job in life is to be that beauty, that precious love, power, and goodness that is the essence of who we all are. And I feel like since that day, my job in life has been to realize that more and more and more and more and more moments of my life, and to help other people to uncover that in themselves, because we all have a diamond essence. We all have a beauty and a value and a deep, deep goodness and wisdom inside of us.
I think that's a tough thing for because we live at, to simplify it, 2 levels at once. We live at the spiritual level, we live at the human level.
Right, right.
And you read something like, I was reading over some of the notes of some of the speakers, and if you just read a phrase like, we're all beautiful and we're all valuable and we're all worthy, and you think, I know a couple of people who aren't, you know, or I don't look so good in the morning. But there's the human level, and then what you're talking about, which is this essence. That's what a great experience.
Well, it is, and when you know that wonderful Wayne Dyer quote, I'm sure it's been quoted here many times, is that we're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and it's sort of like so much in our culture, the cart is before the horse, that we're all about getting satisfied and all this kind of stuff, and we don't look to our spiritual essence to fulfill some of those needs and to fill in some of the places where there's been hurt and there's been, we need some healing. And for sustenance and for all kinds of, for wisdom, for guidance, you know, to look in the heart, those kinds of things.
One of the things that touches me so much about you is that most people, and it is most people on the planet who have everything, you know, perfect when it comes to their body and to their mind, they're not willing to stretch themselves out of their comfort zone. Surely they're not willing to put themselves in front of other people and inspire others. And you, knowing that public speaking is one of our biggest fears and that we get judged when we are in front of people, you have chosen to get over all of that, to rise above it, and you have chosen to become a motivational speaker. Isn't that just amazing? I mean, that takes a brave heart. A brave heart.
What would you say to those of us who, you know, when we see someone who is different and how we behave, what can you say from being from your standpoint, looking at the rest of us? What do we have to learn about ourselves through your eyes?
Well, I hear 2 questions. One is, how do you respond? I mean, how can you better respond to people who look different? And the other question is something more about, I wasn't sure.
Me neither.
But I guess clear about.
I think that you are seeing sides of us that we don't see, that we may not be in a position to see. And what does that, what do we need to learn about ourselves, I guess, as you walk through the world and watching us?
Watching us watch you.
I mean, to ask me what you need to learn, beloved, that's not for me to say.
When I first saw you, the first thing I said is, you are adorable. And was that?
Oh, okay. So when you see somebody who's different, and also people who have children, when they're confronted with being in public, and there's more people out that look different, you know, it's very, you know, people are mainstream now, that I think the first thing that you can do is be honest to yourself about your real reaction, but contain them and say, right now, I feel shocked. I feel stunned. I feel sad. I feel pity. I feel whatever it is that you're feeling for that person, to admit it to yourself, but contain it. And then once you have an awareness about how it is, you can go ahead and give the love. But I think to just try to overstep your natural and be out of the truth of what your natural response is isn't helpful, because a person can feel it. They can feel that you're giving them something that you think they need rather than giving them something genuine. And once you be with yourself in that moment and give yourself empathy, you can then extend that to other persons.
That's right.